We are making a fuss because we have been scrupulously excluded from any major things in history. Wherever anything extraordinary is found in Africa, it cannot be African. Hamites brought it in. Asiatics brought it in. Caucasoids brought it in. We are the dumb, slow idiots of the world. And therefore, it is our duty to correct that impression.
Oh yes, you have been told a lot of lies. No other way to talk about it. And those who teach them, if in fact they did any research, must know they are lies. That is providing that they have never gone to Egypt or to Ethiopia or to Sudan to see the living proof.
The European is the last of the major people to enter world history. He's late. Africa had 2 golden ages and was tired when the European entered. And when the European entered, they entered destructively.
When you get into the seriousness of what Nile Valley civilization represents, you have the means to destroy the pretense of white supremacy and the so-called hoax of the primacy of Greekness.
Power is the ability to define reality and to have other people respond to your definition as if it were their own. And the most important reality to define is the meaning of your own human beingness. African people have not allowed ourselves to take authority for giving definition to the meaning of our own human beingness. And it has been because of a systematic process of rearranging Africans to be something other than African.
If we were centered in our culture, we would understand that we were at war, that we are at war. But without being centered in our culture, we don't understand that, so we don't know how to behave. We don't know that we need to identify the enemy who has already identified us as victim.
Why is what we're called such a difficulty? Think about it for a minute. It is so plain till it seems almost unimportant, doesn't it? It seems so evident, so obvious that you think, now why is that an important discussion, right? If I start talking to you about ancient Egypt or great lost empires Africa, you'd sit there, wow, that's important. But the most fundamental thing is about the way we look at ourselves. You can't even go back to there if you don't deal first with where you are right now.
No person is devoid of an attachment to some cultural fountain. And so we ask, whose water are you drinking? It's a fundamental question. Our African history has been an orgy of forgetfulness. We have often lost our memories and accepted the gods of those who enslaved and colonized us.
We need to understand and master, instead of trying to ignore racism and pretend that it doesn't exist or that it went away some time ago. No, racism is alive and well. Racism is a total global system that, as Neely Fuller outlined in his textbook for victims of racism, textbook for victims of white supremacy, racism operates in economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war.
When we talk about making our children qualified and getting them prepared to take advantage of opportunities, we are also making the assumption that the opportunities that are being offered are not being offered by us. We are still assuming that the ownership of jobs and opportunity will be in the hands of other people. And I've asked people before, what makes you assume that the jobs will even be there?
Maybe I should be in the prisons and jails telling our children the story of their greatness, telling them that they are not as described, disadvantaged, culturally deprived, at risk, endangered species, because then that's what they will be, what they have always been. But if we stand up and say there are those of us who have studied this system, who have studied world history, not just the history of one group of people, but studied the history of the historical and hysterical oppressor, who understand the great economic plague and where it came from and why it came, so that we will not go back to what we have been, but we will rise up as a new, informed, intelligent people who say, I may not agree with you, but I love you, and let's work it out.
It's a book called Public Education and Autopsy by Myron Lieberman. And this is what he says.
Of that. So you can then, if you don't have no view of the history, hopefully.
That was in this country. And people will say, yes, we're doing this. You think that's all
with the senator in many, many ways. And so I consider myself a representative of the family.